Welcome to CEO Conversations, the private practice podcast. I'm your host, Brandy Mabra. This is your one-stop shop to learn the business side of your practice on a deeper level. On this show, we empower you to own your CEO status to scale your practice for growth, sustainability, and profit. Listen in as we talk about how to market your practice to gain more visibility, hire, build, and engage your ride or die dream team, create streamlined operations, and make financial decisions as a CEO. It's time to show up as a confident leader to create a practice and life you love. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome to another episode of CEO Conversations, the private practice podcast. It's Brandy, and I am excited, so excited to talk about today's episode. So I'm giving you permission to be a dirty S word. An S word that might make you feel guilty, an S word that can make you feel like another S word that is the equivalent for poo and crap and shame, which is an S word. And so the S word for today, the word of the day, is selfish. I am giving you permission to be selfish. And I believe as healthcare professionals, healthcare service providers, doing all the amazing things that we do in the world, we need permission to be selfish because everyone tells us a lot of times we cannot be. It is wrong for us to be selfish. What are you doing being selfish? You are here to care for other people and make sure every other person is well, except for yourself. And that is not what we're going to do. That's not how we roll. That is not what we do. We put on our oxygen mask first, so that way we can care for the folks that we're here to serve, to care for the folks that we love, and be a better person for them by being a better person for us, which means that we're going to be selfish. So here's a story. A little bit of information about me, as I am an older sibling. And if you were to meet me and my sister, you would think, oh, she's the oldest. She's the oldest. Absolutely. And it's happened all of our lives. And I love my sister. Absolutely love my sister. But I remember distinctly, my parents telling me, don't be selfish. Brandy, that is your baby sister. Don't be selfish. Give her that toy. Make sure that you share. Don't be selfish. You have to think about your sister. And so fast forward to today, or even just years throughout my career, with all the people that I managed and led and the hundreds of people. Oh, goodness. That term, don't be selfish, share with your sister, think of others, is definitely drilled into my mind, right? And so with all the years of burnout, all the years of just putting everyone in front of me, it is because I did not want to be the bad sister and I did not want to be selfish. But what does that get you if you aren't selfish? It leads to being tired. It leads to resentment. It leads to, there has to be more than this. It leads to, why did I hire you again? It leads to, what's up with my family? Like all the stuff that not being selfish can lead to. So another story, I'm in a weird season of my life. I'm transitioning into a new phase of motherhood. I was a single mom for a number of years, and my baby, who is not a baby anymore, my 18-year-old, is now in a place of getting ready for college. And what does that mean for me as his mother? Of course, I'm going to be his mother. I am his mother. I will always be his mother. He will always be my baby. Yes, I'm one of those mothers. He will always be my baby. At the end of the day, though, he doesn't need me the way that he needed way back in the day. And he definitely doesn't need me the way that he needed me even 5 years ago. He definitely doesn't need me even the way that he needed me a year ago. And that is new for me, right? And so for a long time, going back to the single mom days, like I had to make sure everything was good, right? And making sure that he had everything that he needed. And that's a lot of how I even burned out, is trying to be all things and do all things and being super mom and trying to be and failing and superwoman and failing and, goodness gracious. And so fast forward to today, I have more time, he doesn't need me as much. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do with this time? And so it's interesting because I had to spend so many years getting to a place to give myself permission to be selfish. And now I'm in a season where I literally have more time to be selfish and to focus on projects that maybe I didn't have the capacity to take on because of just being a very hands on mom. Um, I've talked about on here, like just wanting to get a book deal this year. We have even changed private practice CEO, where now if you work with me inside a private practice CEO, you get 4 retreats. I mean, 4 retreats. This year, we are going to DC in March, New York in June, LA in September, and Miami in December. And that is something that I am so excited about, so excited. But part of it is because I have time, Like my family is my rock. They're the reason why I do what I do. And at this point in time, I have to kind of transition into, well, what does Brandy want? What does it mean for me in this stage of my life to be selfish? So that's my question for you. Whatever stage of business you are in or stage of life, what does it mean for you to be selfish during this season? What does that look like for you? And it might look different. It's going to look different at every stage. So like my version of selfishness, even 6 months ago, was getting my hair done. Like, so I get my hair done every couple of weeks at this point in time. And that was something that I gifted myself because every quarter when we do planning or monthly planning, or for me, just thinking about, like, I've gotten to the place of self awareness. Like, what do I need in this time? Like, what do I need? How's my energy? What am I missing up? What am I missing? And one of the things was my hair. I've talked about my hair. My hair is thick. It is natural. You see me in a hat, that means I'm having a bad hair day. And so at this point in time, I'm really proud of myself because I've stuck to it, where I get my hair done every couple weeks. It feels good. It's wonderful. Um, it's helped a lot, with confidence, all the stuff. And so now I'm thinking, like, well, what else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? And so now that I have more time, 6 months ago, that was my version of being selfish. I've increased getting my nails done. That's another version of me being selfish. My eating, has definitely been refined. That's my version of being selfish because what I eat and what I like, the whole house doesn't necessarily want to eat, and that's okay with me. Um, and so it's just like, what is your version of selfishness right now? Like, what do you need in this time for you to feel good? And I mean like healthy things, like things that are going to help you show up like a better person. Like, what do you need at this point in time? Like, what is your version of selfishness? Because there's a lot of ways that we can look at what we do in the world and it's not selfish, right? And it's actually the opposite of selfish. We feel like it's selfish, but it's the opposite of selfish. It's what we need in order to do what we've been called to do in a more impactful way, in a way that feels good, in a way that doesn't burn us out, in a way that feels more energizing, compared to just being stuck and mad and resentful because you're not taking care of your basic needs of what you need. Right. And so you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success when we're having this conversation. So here's some flips. So here are some things that I'm going to say. So selfish, if you're building a business, selfish, you want to be selfish to build a strong business that's going to be here today and years to come. Why? Because your business needs that. If you've hired, your team needs for the business to be around. And so I think about this, like if you're owning your boundaries, if you're paying attention to your money, if you are definitely having hard conversations, making some hard choices, some of that can feel very selfish, but it's necessary because the practice needs for you to do that. That's part of being a CEO. Part of being a CEO at times can be selfish, and that's okay. And it needs to be. It needs to be. There was a conversation I was having in on Instagram, and there is a private practice owner now who became a private practice owner, not by design, because her previous employer went bankrupt. So imagine if that employer had maybe made some more selfish decisions, had some more hard conversations. I don't know why they went out of business. I'm just assuming here, I'll be honest. But I know for other businesses and other practices that have gone under, it's because there weren't enough selfish conversations, right? There weren't enough hard conversations. They put something ahead of themselves in the business that needed a selfish type mentality in a good way. So that's what I'm trying to change your viewpoint. So if you were one like selfish is just bad, I'm going to try to change your viewpoint. And even for the folks who are listening to this who know, selfish, like, oh, yeah, no, you need to be selfish. A lot of times we tell folks, do as I say and not as I do. As healthcare professionals, that's like number one thing, do as I say, but not as I do. Don't burn yourself out, but I'm going to burn myself out. Make sure you own your boundaries, but I don't own my boundaries. Make sure that you are giving yourself what you need, but I don't give myself what I need. Make sure that you're doing this, 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 and this, and this, but I don't do that. Right. And so that's not what we're doing here. If you're listening to this, that's not what we're doing. Definitely, if you're working with me, that's not what we're doing. We need to make sure that we are being selfish because everybody is better when we are. Right. So it's like selfish with a good thing, like as a good thing. Another way of looking at this is selfish with investing in yourself and giving yourself what you need. So, when we're thinking about investing in yourself, it goes back to how you're treating yourself. Are you investing in yourself? Are you spending money on yourself? Are you being so cheap with you and so expensive with others? I'm going to say that again. Are you being so cheap with you but expensive with others? Right. So I think about my family and particularly with my son, I get asked on multiple occasions, sometimes multiple times in a day, Mom, can I have this? I need new Jordans. I need new pants. There's this new Nike, whatever. There's this new video game. And he has a job. He works, so he makes some money. But it's nothing compared to what his lifestyle desires are. And I'm always like, oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, baby. Yes. Oh, yeah. You want a $250 pair of shoes? Absolutely. Let's go get them today. And I'm like, but if I want a $250 pair of shoes, I'm like, wait a minute. Do I really need that? Do I? Can I wait? Maybe, I don't know. All these like back and forth things happen in my brain compared to if he asks, that's my baby. Absolutely. He's a great kid. He, gets amazing grades. He's deserving, And does that mean I'm not? Like, what is up with this? And I know a lot of moms have that battle that happens. Like, it's really easy to say yes to your kids and really hard to say yes to you. And so part of this selfish conversation is giving you permission to be selfish with yourself. So if there's something that you want, go out and get it, or save for it. Set yourself up for it. What is your version of being selfish? What do you need in this season to make sure that you feel well? Who do you need to tell no to? Who do you need to tell yes to? What do you need to create in your calendar for yourself? What appointments do you need to schedule for yourself? Like, when was the last time you went to the doctor? I mean, let's have real conversations. Like, when was the last time you went to the doctor? When was the last time you went to the dentist? When was the last time you treated yourself to something? When was the last time? And what have you done? There's especially with our health and so many things that we absorb, like, what are you doing for you? What are you doing for you? And so part of this conversation and part of the way that this podcast structure is set up is that there's 6 pillars of business excellence. And the number one pillar is you. And so we always make sure that we're having conversations and making sure that you're paying attention to you. Because if you are not right, no one else is right. So what I've said is, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. And that's so true on so many levels. Here's my push. I want you to be selfish. I want you to take a break. Take the break that you need, make the investment that you need, hire the team that you need. Definitely go on vacation, take the vacation that you need. Get the hair, get your hair done, schedule the appointment with the therapist, schedule your appointment to get a massage, schedule the spa day, get your nails done, go shopping, whatever. Like whatever it is. My number one question for you is, what is one way you can be selfish today? Just one way. One way. What would it look like for you to put yourself first and to give yourself exactly what you need today? Thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and it empowers you as the CEO of your practice. If you enjoyed the podcast, please make sure you subscribe, share the message, and leave a review. If you want more information and support in growing and scaling your practice, click the link in the show notes to take advantage of our free resources or apply to work with me directly. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.